Howdy, I'm Grey Pilgrim. Well, I wanted to talk about a couple of three things. First of all, something I forgot to mention. The other day I showed off my, come up here. I showed off my underhammer rifle I've got. My apologies, I forgot to mention the way I found it. I was sitting here alone and the phone rang. It was my cousin. And he went to our favorite gun shop and he was looking around, and we both know the guy who runs it. We know, and we know his son who also works there. And anyway, Don called me up and he said, "Hey, I got something you might be interested in." And he described it to me, and I went, well, the guy's name is Colt. Put Colt on the phone. Colt, put that in the back room. I want it. And I went down later that day and I plopped down my card and I bought it. And I'm glad I did, because it's a wonderful gun. I just wanted to give credit where credit was due. My cousin is the one who found this thing. Anyway, that was the first thing. The second thing is, I'm a gun channel. And one thing that seems to be common on YouTube for gun channels is that our subscriber rates keep going down. Not up, down. Even though people like to watch us, and they might even subscribe to us, well, somebody over at YouTube land likes to go pluck, pluck, pluck. So if you don't mind looking and seeing, if you subscribe to me, just check, make sure you still subscribe, because I've noticed I'm no longer subscribed to a few channels, and I had to resubscribe, re-up, because I like to follow those folks. I like to follow them a lot. And that showed up, and I just thought I'd mention it because I noticed that I lost a couple of subs recently, and I don't think I've become that, well, I know I'm boring, but I'm not that boring. Anyway, what I want to talk about is the other day I was looking around at some of these. These are old cigar boxes. I got a bunch of. And I started thinking, well, what can I do with those? Many years ago, I got this jewelry box from my ex-wife. Well, she wasn't my ex-wife at the time. And I made it into a gun box for a Savage model 1907. Yeah, I could use that. Oh, put that aside. Okay. And that's what we got in here, is a Savage. I had to reposition these little separator panels and the like, and make them exactly the way I wanted them. But that was an idea, I thought, and I've been toying with that. Made this a few maybe 30 years ago, but I've been thinking I could do more of this. And I thought, well, I could use cigar boxes. Alternately, if you got an old knife box, this is for some kind of utensils or knives, and you could just put guns in this. This one's kind of a narrow one, so I think you need a narrow one to fit. But I had a gun that I really needed to put into a box, put somewhere, because it deserves a nice presentation. Well, my cousin also gave me a box recently, and I thought that would be just downright perfect for it. And this is the gun. My custom black powder 31 caliber precision target pistol. This is just such a beautiful piece. It wasn't working at all, not worth spit, and I fixed it. And now it works, and it works well. I'm rather proud of this one for two reasons. One is when I did a video on on my original attempts to get it fixed, it blew up and is the only viral video I've ever done. And that surprised the heck out of me, because it wasn't that good a video. But the other thing is that because of that, I got doggedly determined to get this thing fixed. And I had to redo the sear for it. And I had no indication of exactly how long it should be, how wide it should be, how it should hook. I knew basically what it should look like, but the only thing I could go on was to experiment. So I made a couple of them, and screwed them up. Made a couple more, screwed them up. Made a couple of more, and well, got closer this time, but they still weren't long enough or wide enough, or they just didn't quite fit the hole they're supposed to go in. And then I finally made one. I think I did like 9 different tries before I got it. And I got one that works. And it's just exactly perfect for the use here. And I learned a whole lot about how this thing was designed just from doing that. It was quite the learning experience for me. But it was fun to do. And now this thing, it shoots very accurately. It's a very well-built thing for a custom-made pistol. I mean, if you take a look at it close up, you know, the barrel, it's a 31 caliber, or 32 actually, but it's a solid frame to the thing, and it has this barrel assembly on top, which is affixed to the frame. And I did not ever take this off because I don't want to ruin whatever head spacing it has. The bolt is this pin that comes back, and it's a threaded pin. And oh gosh, let me see. Come back out. It goes back like that. The trigger is connected to the sear, which is connected to a pin that comes up here and holds that bolt back. And then here's the nipple, and that is a custom nipple. It does not work with a modern one. But I'll dry fire it one more time just so you can see. The bolt is just a round thing, and it cups this nipple and the any cap that's on it, as you can see. The spring is on here, and it's hooked to this pin here, which is knurled on the outside, which is perfect. The whole assembly is held by this bolt, and the spring back here just acts as a buffer spring. And this thing is screwed in, and it's just perfectly aligned for the thing. I love this pistol, but I thought what I need is a box like this, or like one of these, for this. Well, I've got one over there, and it's right now, the glue is drying on it, because what I did is I cut a bunch of boards, and some of them are drying, some of them are right here. These are what I'm going to put in some of the places in there. The base, the main boards are already in there. And once these are in place, I have some felt I'm going to put down around them and around the rest of the inside of the box, and make a nice little home for this thing. I love this little pistol. It's just a fun little pistol to play with. And an actual work of art, in my opinion. And it's one of a kind. Anyway, just thought I'd mention that. I'll let you know when I get it finished. Happy trails.